But again, this is all just what was east of the Jordan River, not the, 31 different kings and their kingdoms that were defeated and conquered after crossing the Jordan River to the west of it. What's up, cool people? My name's Matt. Welcome back to our Bible study. Okay. We're looking at Joshua chapter 13, and so there was a lot of conquering done by the Israelites over the past few chapters. 31, I think, total kings that were defeated just by Joshua and the Israelites east of the Jordan River. Or, sorry, west of the Jordan. Yeah, they were east and then they crossed it. And a bunch of southern and northern kingdoms were all conquered. Now, it doesn't even say how long it took, other than that it was a long time. Maybe we'll get a better indication of that in following chapters. But anyway, so that's kind of where things are. Lots of land has been conquered, and we'll see what else happens. So anyway, here we go. Joshua, chapter 13. When Joshua was an old man, the Lord said to him, "You are growing old, and much land remains to be conquered. This is the territory that remains: all the regions of the Philistines and the Geshurites, and the larger territory of the Canaanites, extending from the stream of Shihor on the border of Egypt, northward to the boundary of Ekron. It includes the territory of the 5 Philistine rulers of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. The land of the Avites in the south also remains to be conquered. In the north, the following area has not yet been conquered: all the land of the Canaanites, including Mira, which belongs to the Sidonians, stretching northward to Aphek on the border of the Amorites, the land of the Gebalites, and all the land of the Lebanon mountain area to the east, from Baal Gad below Mount Hermon to Lebo Hamath, and all the hill country from Lebanon to Mizrephoth Maim, including all the land of the Sidonians. I myself will drive these people out of the land ahead of the Israelites, so be sure to give this land to Israel as a special possession, just as I have commanded you. Include all this territory as Israel's possession when you divide this land among the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh." Okay. Sorry, with, paragraph break being in the middle of verse 6, I felt like I should continue on. Also because the last couple sentences there were the last in that subsection of the chapter. But anyway, yeah. So there was still quite a bit of land yet to be conquered. It was like, okay, you'd figure, well, they conquered the south and they conquered the north. Is there really that much left? Yes, apparently. Some of it extending all the way down to the border of Egypt, which you would think they wouldn't necessarily want to go too close to, given, all the centuries of servitude there. But, I mean, if that's part of the promised land, maybe it's, just a different section of it, and kind of well, I mean, they actually crossed the Red Sea, so, maybe it's bordering at a slightly different spot. So then, And then God's saying, be sure to give this land, meaning all the land that has yet to be conquered, as a special possession. Include all this territory when you divide the land among the 9 tribes and the half tribe of Manasseh. 9.5, because the other 2.5 tribes already have their land sort of established and divvied up. East. I was going to say west. East of the Jordan River, before they ever crossed over. Those other kings that they defeated while still being led by Moses. So, based on the subsection that's up next, it would sound as if they're going to start dividing up the land and saying, all right, here's which tribes get what. But I assume then, because of God saying this, that all the territory mentioned up in here is going to be included in the dividing up. Kind of has to be, in order for God's command to be followed there. But yeah, we'll see what happens with all that as we continue the chapter. So, verse 8. Half the tribe of Manasseh and the tribes of Reuben and Gad had already received their grants of land on the east side of the Jordan, for Moses, the servant of the Lord, had previously assigned this land to them. Mentioned that a little bit ago. Their territory extended from Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Gorge, including the town in the middle of the gorge, to the plain beyond Medeba, as far as Dibon. I don't know about the pronunciations. It also included all the towns of King Sihon of the Amorites, who had reigned in Heshbon, and extended as far as the borders of Ammon. It included Gilead, the territory of the kingdoms of Geshur and Maacah, all of Mount Hermon, all of Bashan as far as Salecah, and all the territory of King Og of Bashan, who had reigned in Ashtaroth and Edrei. King Og was the last of the Rephaites, for Moses had attacked them and driven them out. But the Israelites failed to drive out the people of Geshur and Maacah, so they continue to live among the Israelites to this day. So they might have, defeated and driven out a lot of the people, but apparently not all of them, even east of the Jordan. So, sorry. So anyway, yeah, that was all the stuff before crossing the Jordan River in the land that had already been allotted to 2.5 of the tribes. Yeah, I don't know if there's really too much I feel like I need to say in regards to that. Verse 14. Moses did not assign any allotment of land to the tribe of Levi. Instead, as the Lord had promised them, their allotment came from the offerings burned on the altar to the Lord, the God of Israel. Yeah, so throughout all of this, the tribe of Levi, they're supposed to be, I mean, they're more so just like, temple servants. They also include the priests, or maybe even they are the priests in total. But anyway, the Levites have all of these priestly duties and stuff to take care of. And because of that involving, multiple other people that they would be communing with and doing these things with and for. That's part of the reason they don't really have a specific allotment of land. Verse 15. Moses had assigned the following area to the clans of the tribe of Reuben. Their territory extended from Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Gorge, including the town in the middle of the gorge, to the plain beyond Mediba, I don't know. It included Heshbon and the other towns on the plain, Dibon, Bamoth Baal, Beth Baal Maon, Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mephaeth, Kiriathaim, Sibma, Zareth Shahar, on the hill above the valley, Beth Peor, the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshimoth. Man, so many names that are hard to pronounce there. Or at least in, for most of us primarily English speakers and not speakers of Hebrew, hard to pronounce. Anyway, let me just wrap up this section here. So this is still the land east of the Jordan that we're talking about. Not all the stuff that had recently been conquered on the west side of the Jordan River. Anyway, verse 21. The land of Reuben also included all the towns of the plain and the entire kingdom of Sihon. Sihon was the Amorite king who had reigned in Heshbon and was killed by Moses along with the leaders of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, princes living in the region who were allied with Sihon. The Israelites had also killed Balaam, son of Beor, who used magic to tell the future. The Jordan River marked the western boundary for the tribe of Reuben. The towns and their surrounding villages in this area were given as a homeland to the clans of the tribe of Reuben. Alrighty. Moving on to verse 24. Moses had assigned the following area to the clans of the tribe of Gad. Their territory included Jazer, all the towns of Gilead, and half of the land of Ammon, as far as the town of Aroer, just west of Rabbah. It extended from Heshbon to Ramath Mizpeh and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the territory of Lo Debar. In the valley where Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, Zephon, and the rest of the kingdom of King Sihon of Heshbon. The western boundary ran along the Jordan River, extended as far north as the tip of the Sea of Galilee, and then turned eastward. The towns and their surrounding villages in this area were given as a homeland to the clans of the tribe of Gad. Okay. So, Gad. Alright, so we've gotten Reuben's allotment, Gad's allotment, and that, you would assume, takes up the majority of what was conquered east of the Jordan River. I got a couple of footnotes here, but before I get into that, so it seems like the tribe of Reuben got the bulk of what was Sihon's kingdom, and it didn't really say Gad got the majority of Og's kingdom. In fact, it mentioned specifically them getting the rest of what Sihon ruled over. Okay, we have some footnotes to look at now. This is the first of the footnotes this far into the chapter. Okay. Bit surprising, but hey, whatever. Hebrew says in front of Rabbah instead of just west of. I guess maybe because of the path that they were taking into the promised land, it would have been considered in front of, because they were traveling from the west to the east, at least in relation to the Jordan River. Footnote there. Hebrew says Lai Debir, which seems to be a variant spelling of Lo Debar. I'm pretty sure that, well, that name is used in other places at least, but I thought maybe it was mentioned up earlier in the chapter as well. Footnote at Sea of Galilee. Hebrew says the Sea of Kinnereth. I would figure at the very least it's referred to as the Sea of Galilee here because that's then what it becomes known as later. Certainly what most of us would understand it to be known as in relation to biblical events. Specifically, New Testament biblical events and a lot of stuff that Jesus did. Verse 29. Moses had assigned the following area to the clans of the half-tribe of Manasseh. Their territory extended from Mahanaim, including all of Bashan, all the former kingdom of King Og, and the 60 towns of Jair in Bashan. It also included half of Gilead and King Og's royal cities of Ashtaroth and Edrei. All this was given to the clans of the descendants of Machir, who was Manasseh's son. These are the allotments Moses had made while he was on the plains of Moab, across the Jordan River, east of Jericho. But Moses gave no allotment of land to the tribe of Levi, for the Lord, the God of Israel, had promised that he himself would be their allotment. And portions from offerings and whatnot that other tribes would give. So there's definitely some crossover in the mentioning of like cities and whatnot. So going from there, which was part of what was included in Gad's allotment, I would definitely have to break out a map to get a better understanding. Also, find one that would show these to really get a better understanding of it all. But, you know, unsurprisingly, they kind of border along each other, the allotments of the different tribes here. But again, this is all just what was east of the Jordan River, not the, 31 different kings and their kingdoms that were defeated and conquered after crossing the Jordan River to the west of it. We'll see how that gets split up in the following chapters. But I suppose that's it for chapter 13, because I don't really have too many other thoughts. It's just, alright, here's the land and how it was divided up amongst the tribes. I don't even have a particular idea of, how much land was given to each tribe, but it was supposed to be according to their relative sizes, at least to some extent. So, just know that it's not going to be like, okay, massive tribe is going to get small portion of land, or anything weird like that. But anywho, okay, I guess that's it for chapter 13. Okay, so it turns out there's still some more land to be conquered, but I guess they've conquered enough at this point that Joshua officially is okay to start divvying out, dividing up, however you want to word that, the sections of the land amongst the various tribes. And then we got a quick reminder of what happened before they crossed the Jordan River and which land from that area went to which 2.5 tribes. But yeah, that's it for now. So as always, like and share if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you're on YouTube to get updates when I post new videos. If you're seeing this over on Rumble, feel free to give me a follow there. Either way, look down in the description to get info on other social media pages and all that good stuff. And leave comments down below there with any thoughts you have. So, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another video. But whatever the case is, till next time, stay cool, people.